Toronto was a place that people gave two fucks about until Drake showed up and carried that shit. When people think of Toronto, everyone thinks of Drake now. This dude showed up in 2006 with his first mixtape called Room for Improvement, and it sold about 6,000 copies, which isn't bad, and then we all know the rest. Then comes the dude from Compton that changes his rap name to his original name, and in that same year, he releases his fourth mixtape, Overly Dedicated, and then Section 80, we know him as Kendrick Lamar. Last but not least, he comes from the same state that those racist-ass Confederate rallies were held in. He's another light skin that started to get recognized with his first mixtape, The Come Up, in 2007, and then released two more mixtapes after being signed to Roc Nation, Jay-Z's label. Y'all know him, J. Cole. Damn, that was a long intro. But y'all already know I'm KenWal with my boy,
A Deja Wonder.
And what do these three rappers have in common to make them recognized as the best? All three have the skills. They've been working on it.
This is with no disrespect, but like the lesser tiered rappers that compared to the new school that I think actually had more longevity, because I think the longevity thing kind of diminished with these new school rappers after Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole came out. These new rappers that they put out there in like Double XL magazine.
Yeah,
the new school. It's like they are new school for a year. They're not new school like, and they have like that longevity compared to the past rappers where you'd see them just stand out and you just follow them throughout time. And it's just one of those things with these God damn, I'm messing up today. These three rappers in particular, they just have an ability where they make good music, but their biggest advantage is their relationship with their fans. And that's something that is, you can kind of see it from the comments. You can, it's almost tangible. Like you can almost, it's one of those things that you can actually touch.
All right, yeah. So that brings me to the... Damn. It's all good. Yeah, that brings me to what we were saying, the fans. So I was watching the Joe Budden podcast back when I was like really into Everyday Struggle, and Charlemagne was on the show, and Charlemagne was like, yeah, I think the best rapper right now is Big Sean. Big Sean, I disagree with that, but Big Sean, if you call him trash, you don't know anything. He's far from trash, but he's not up there yet. He can definitely improve. Like he's been improving. Like he used to be, I rarely listened to him in the beginning. Now I actually give his songs a listen to. But back to my point, Charlemagne said that, and then one dude that was on the Joe Budden podcast, this white dude, I forget his name, he had a good point with the fans. When J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake released their first projects, their fan base, they developed a really loyal fan base that would protect them, that would just support their music. Mm-hmm. It's all about supporting their music. Their fan base will, anything they drop, they will buy and support it. They will even do promotion for them for free. They don't have to do it. It's as long as Drake they just post something, the fans will just tweet it, make videos and all that, just defend them and support them. That's what it's all about. Yeah. And that's what makes them so different compared to a lot of these other rappers.
And I agree wholeheartedly. I think I'm officially back now. There's going to be less stuttering. But the fans is the core of what makes these guys as good as they are. And you can follow that through social media. You can just pay attention to the comments. You're not going to see as many fans come to bat for Wale or Big Sean the same way that they would do J. Cole or Kendrick or Drake. It's that loyalty, that level of loyalty that can make or break an artist, especially in today's day and age. It's like these guys have their small dedicated, I shouldn't say, what small is relative, but they have their dedicated fan groups, but it's not to the level of J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Yeah. These are three artists that if they said they were going to stop making music for a while, whenever they come back, it's almost picking up where they left off.
I feel bad for just blaming it or just picking out Wale and Big Sean, but they just don't have the fans. I think number one is obviously the skills. You have to have the skills for rap, and it's just the fans. If you don't have the fans, you don't have anything. They're the ones that support you. That's why it's so important. Musicians always be like, oh yeah, they start blaming the fans. That's when your career, I think, is over. When they go like, oh, you didn't support me. It's like you don't blame the fans. You never come after the fans that helped you get there. You never do that. Just keep your mouth shut. But we're gonna give them some advice if they somehow listen to this video or it just blows up. But definitely the reason with Kendrick, these big three, is I don't know, it's not, they're more approachable, or they're more more in the scene with people. You see them with people,
big thing about
everyday people.
They seem like, people that you can actually reach out to, and you won't get, the shit kicked out of you by their security. It just seemed like they're more down to earth.
Yeah, especially for what they do for their city. Like, look at Drake. We went to Toronto. Like, when you hear Toronto, that city, what do you think of now?
Yeah,
it's just Drake.
Dude, like, put that city on his back.
Yeah, like you can always see they always do stuff for their city, where they came from. That's what it's all about.
And it's just like, it's one of those things where what they do for their city, it matters. It becomes a part of their packaging. And you see what's different with Drake is he brings out a lot of artists that are out of Toronto. Yep. It's not like he's just going helter-skelter and just picking up people from all over the place. It's people from that city. So it always ties back into packaging. It's always tying back, and that's a big part of it when it comes to a city, because now the people that live in that city who are more likely they're going to your fans that are in that city. It's like, look, he's putting on for us, so we're gonna put on for him. Like, it always has to be a give and take kind of relationship, and that's what I feel. It's like Drake does that for his city. Then you have guys like Kendrick and J. Cole. They do the social commentary, which is something that a lot of their fans will see and be like, you know what, I can relate to that. I understand that. Look, this person is talking about stuff that actually matters to me in my everyday
Kendrick,
life.
I remember, Damn, he was it was a meet and greet for his album at the Best Buy in Compton. He did it. Like, a lot of people, that's really good. A lot of people don't really do that nowadays. I feel like, wasn't that like an old kind of thing? Like,
yeah. It's like
I feel like a lot of people strayed away from that. A lot of people like that. I like that. That would be cool.
And say what you want about it or not. Like, people look at that as being real. Like, when we talk about, like, in hip hop, it's like that's being real. You going back and not forgetting where you come from, your fans will take that, and that is a level of authenticity that gives you like that certifiable proof that you're still who you are. When you're able to go back to where you come from and be like, you know what, I'm giving back to you guys because I didn't forget everything, that all of my experiences that brought me to this point came from being able to interact with you guys.
Yeah. Like I said, I kind of just fill us in if you know anything that Wale or Big Sean or all these other rappers do, because I don't really follow them that much, because they could be doing that, especially Big Sean. Yeah, especially him.
But I don't think it's an issue of them not doing it. It's just they're considered mid-level rappers, and I think what can happen is that if they improve their FaceTime, their accessibility to their fans, it can help them in a more upward trajectory.
Yeah, like Big Sean, I think he needs to, especially stop posting pictures. The only time I see him, it's with Janae Aiko. That's the only time I see him.
You need to capitalize on that.
Yeah,
it's like you need to if you're posting pictures with Janae Aiko, you need to try and cross over with her fans as well. And it's not just a thing like, oh yes, her fans will like my picture. That doesn't translate to album sales. That doesn't even translate to them being a fan of yours and your music. It's just, oh, you're with the girl that I like, that we like, so we're gonna like you. But this isn't. What happens if they break up tomorrow? That doesn't mean that those same people that like those pictures are gonna all of a sudden go buy Big Sean's things. And it's just one of those things. It's just like, it makes sense if you reach out to people. If you're always getting new customers, it's just like a store. If you always get new customers, they're coming in, they're buying your product, your album sales are going to go up. You're going to have that word of mouth. It's going to be it just makes sense. It's no different than fans. If you're going out there and you're getting more fans, if you already have your core group of fans, but you're still going out there and getting more fans, your popularity is going to go up.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue to have longer success in your industry because more people know about you, word of mouth, and you develop that credibility. And that's not to say that these guys don't have it. It's just they don't, this is to improve upon what they have so that they can become those top tier rappers, because I do think that they have the skill sets, but it's just like, how do they break through that? And the only way I can see that happening, besides having one hit single, because they both had hit singles.
Yeah.
Big Sean still stays coming out with heat. Wale, it's very sometime-ish, but he still does it.
He had a lot.
Yeah, and Wale got in his own way because he talks. He just comes off a little too emotional for people's liking, and obviously it's like, yeah, I'm an emotional dude, or he may not even say that. He's just like, he's expressing his mind. But it's when you're expressing your mind about things that people would kind of like brush off.
They
don't
agree. Remember that one time when he called up the thing? Mm-hmm. It's like, that's when no one defended him because he wasn't at that level yet.
Yeah.
Well, actually he was, but at the same time, you gotta know when to pick your battles. You shouldn't pick a battle
rapper,
like that.
My thing,
he was like the top 20. It was like some list like that. And he wasn't on it.
Yeah, he was complaining about that. I'm gonna give you like a litmus test for you rappers out there. If your fans are not going to adamantly defend you in the comment section, you are doing something wrong. That is not an issue with Kendrick, J. Cole, or Drake. It's like, people will disagree. They may disagree, be like, no, but you will have a swarm of people come to your defense. And that is the true definition today. That's like the one way you can measure loyalty, besides album sales and concert tickets. It's like, if people are still, because, the same people that might defend you online may not come to your stuff. But that's a huge thing. Because those people buy singles on iTunes. Yep. They download. Fan loyalty is huge, and I think that is something that a lot of rappers need to understand and get behind. You have to give to your fans more so than anything else for them to come back to give to you.
I always like those fan videos. Like, you ever see that one J. Cole video? He was like in a corner store, and that dude, what's it called?
No, I'm into that.
That kid, he was like a teenager. He saw him. He was like, "Yo, it's J. Cole," and I guess they had a prior conversation to that, and J. Cole was like, I guess the kid told him about some girl that he liked, and then J. Cole mentioned the girl or something like that. I was like, yo, like, that's dope. Like, if I had the skills to rap and I was doing stuff like that, I would definitely do it, especially because I'm into gaming, the live stuff. I love when the YouTubers do live, because you could just talk to them about anything you want. That's what I think more rappers should get into. If it was me, I'd be doing Instagram Live at least once a week, because you can ask them any question you want.
That's a huge thing. A lot of people, whether they want to admit it or not, they want recognition. So just in that J. Cole example that you gave, that kid is going to remember that moment.
Yep.
And other people that see that video are going to remember that moment and think, God, I wish that happened to me. Or what if that could actually happen to me because it happened to that kid.
And that kid's definitely supporting every album.
Exactly. And people take those little things and they say, that's a good dude.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want people to say, that's a good person, or that's a good person. Like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna follow them. That's how you build, that relationship.
Yep.
You need to build that relationship with your fans through and through, and then everything else can fall into place.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. With the Instagram Live, you could do it if you have time. Even if it's short,
even
you could still. It's not streaming like Twitch where you have to be on for hours. You could just do it real quick, just to check in.
Instagram Live.
It's like you could, like I said, you could talk to them about anything you want.
Dude, people do Instagram Lives in their car while they're driving, and a lot of these guys have drivers.
Yeah.
You can literally sit in the back of your limo or whatever the hell car you're driving and do that and have people will comment. If your fans, they just
a lot of
know
people
the
like, yo,
just
you
like
trash,
hearts,
they
hearts.
trolls.
Yeah, you got trash.
You can ignore them.
Trolls. You can ignore the trolls. You can address the trolls. Either way, it's not bad for you.
Yeah,
unless you say some stupid nonsense. But
streamers
like,
deal with it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
suck at a
you
game.
have tough skin.
They just ignore it.
And I'm sure they had haters while they were growing up in the game. So it's like it's not new territory. You're used to this. So get back to it.
Wale, any up and coming rappers, definitely. I really think this Instagram Live thing will help out your fans, especially when you're starting out. Just go like, yo, I posted a song on SoundCloud because everyone's hopping on SoundCloud. Just do that. I think it will come a long way, and it just connects with your fans. The fans. It's everything. It is second to your skills in rap. Everyone has their own agenda, or everyone has their own scale of what's good or bad. It's different from compared to everyone else.
I'm gonna give you an example. My girl freaks out whenever a person she follows, a famous person on Instagram, will like her comment. That's why Instagram started, like a lot of people now, you see this thing where they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and spend an hour liking people's comments that they put. Imagine out of the blue, you're a rapper, you have a group of followers, you decide to open up your Instagram page, see all of the people that viewed your page or liked one of your pictures. You went and clicked on their Instagram handle, checked out their pictures, and liked one of their pictures that they had. It makes such a huge difference. You know how many people are going to post and be like, yo, so-and-so liked my picture. It's going to be on Instagram, it's going to be on Facebook, it's going to be on Snapchat. Right then and there. And those people, their friends are going to see what you did. And they might, in turn, become interested. It's really something that can take absolutely just a few seconds of your day that can bring like an ROI, a return on investment, that is way larger than you can ever imagine. And if the right person sees that at the right time, sky's the limit.
All right, quick story before we end this. So, our brother did this one competition. It was from Men's Warehouse. He was doing these pictures. They got uploaded to Google. So then, all of a sudden, once, I think it was a Sunday night, Meek Mill just posted this picture of my brother. No lie. Posted him. I forget what he said at the bottom. And he was comparing my brother that he looked like him, but he didn't. We were like, yo, that's cool of Meek Mill. Like, that's really cool. But he didn't post my brother's link or his account. So we were like, that's not bad. But still, I actually gave Meek Mill a listen to. Like, that goes a long way. Even though that wasn't his clear intention, but it was still a cool gesture. Like, it was a really cool thing to do. Y'all already know who it is. I'm KenWal.
I'm a Deja Wonder.
And share your thoughts in the comment section. I'm telling you, it's all about the fans.